Last night I journeyed backwards in time to the medieval world of Dark Tower.
Hello, current subscribers, as well as all you future subscribers. I'm going to take a bit of a departure from the normal videos that I post. I'm going to focus on a game that was brought to my attention that is now on Kickstarter. It is an old game called Dark Tower from 1981. I loved this game when I was younger, and now Restoration Games, oh man, thank you, Restoration Games. You have brought this one back to life. And again, it's on Kickstarter right now. It is a very dark game, or at least it was when I was a child. The new one looks to really have a dark feel to it as well. I mean, any game that's got skulls rolling around, pouring out of a tower. I mean, come on, skulls rolling out of a tower as part of the gameplay. May not be directly horror, it's really kind of dark fantasy, but nevertheless, I'm going to take this departure for my channel today, and I'm going to talk about it. Let's jump right in with a September 23rd, 1981 New York Times business article where I want to highlight just several segments that really give a great historical perspective on the game. The most relevant parts of this article state, with its new entry, a combination of computer board game called Dark Tower, the company is talking as if it has a winner. We wanted a game that would cater to a market that already existed, Dungeons & Dragons. With other games, we are trying to create the market, says Milton Bradley's SVP for sales. It then goes on to say that Dark Tower's development started in January 1979. Once the game had been designed and a program chosen for Dark Tower's computer, it took 9 months to make an electronic chip. Because of its intricate program, the game cost perhaps $200,000 more than usual. A total of $750,000 to $1 million. This is in 1981. Milton Bradley then goes on to say, "We're surprised that it's selling at the wrong time of year and to the wrong people. Adults, to be played by themselves instead of given away." Later in the video, we're going to loop back to the $1 million that Milton Bradley spent in 1981 to design this game and compare that to what Restoration Games has put into their design and development on their current Return to Dark Tower game. And I think that you'll find once you see that how very much worth it this Kickstarter is. How cool is this? The Montgomery Ward's 1981 Christmas catalog that actually shows you Dark Tower for sale and the prices that it was being sold for. This is historical proof that puts to rest the many online arguments going on right now about how much the game originally retailed for. People are just going from memory and they're saying $30. They're saying $150 off the shelf. Nope, here you see it. This is how much it cost. You'll notice 2 price points, one if you beat the Christmas rush and one that was after at $44.88. Now hold on to that dollar amount because we're going to come back in a little bit to use that $44.88 to demonstrate how in 2020 Return to Dark Tower is perfectly priced.
Now back to the good part, Mr. Quest.
The seals break. Darkness is upon us. Will you answer the call? Return to Dark Tower is a cooperative game of epic adventure for 1 to 4 players.
Now let's get down into why you're really here, which is to learn about the new Dark Tower game and why I feel strongly you should back this Kickstarter project. How much money is it going to cost you to get this super awesome game? Yes, it's a lot of money, but I want to put things in perspective for you to let you know the value that you're going to get for the dollars that you pledge. Going back to what I said earlier in the video, that some of these figures were going to become very important later on, well, that time is now. So in the Montgomery Ward Christmas catalog, you remember seeing that the normal price was $44.88. Now, in 1981, brought up due to inflation to the year 2020, modern day, that same $44.88 equals And that's amazing because not only does it prove that Restoration Games has put the price point on this game exactly where it should be, it's the same out of pocket for modern day that it would have cost the American family back in 1981, with the exception that probably the quality is better, as well as I'm going to show you all the different stretch goals right now that have already been unlocked, and I'm sure that they're going to add a lot more to be unlocked later that really add value to the game if you pick the game up from them now. But it wouldn't be a Kickstarter if there weren't other pledge levels. So let's talk about the next one up, which goes for this amount, but you get some really, really ultra cool extras. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about them. I'm expecting that if you're interested in the game, you're going to go to their website and check all of this out on your own. I highly encourage it, but I have to tell you, for the extra money spent on the next pledge level up, there's some really cool stuff here. I also want to take just a moment to talk about the cost to develop this game. So we don't really know what Restoration Games says it cost them to develop and build this game. What we do know is, going back to the previous article at the beginning of this video, Milton Bradley said it took them, for the original Dark Tower, anywhere from $750,000 to $1 million to develop and produce this game. So that quick math, $1981 to $2020 again, equals... And that, dear viewers, is really interestingly close to the current level of pledges. The original all or nothing funding goal on this was $850,000. So obviously the pledges have blown way past that right now. It's one of the things that I love about companies like Restoration Games, that they're able to design and produce these wonderful games at a cheaper cost right out of the gate than their predecessors, the big giant corporations. I mean, today they were going to be able to get this game into players' hands for just hitting an $850,000 goal, where Milton Bradley back in 1981 needed $1 million to get to the same point, which, as you can see by the conversion, would be much, much more money today. So kudos to Restoration Games. We're going to talk about the add-ons now. First on the add-on list is the neoprene board. Now, you do get a game board, obviously, as part of the core game, but that one's 600 millimeters. This one's 800 millimeters. I gotta tell you, I think for the slightly larger game board, it's worth the $35 plus $10 to equal $45 extra cost to this thing. Now, Restoration Games is cautioning everyone, make sure you know how big 800 millimeters is, because it may not fit on everyone's table. Now let's look at some scale pictures that they rendered of the miniature sizes against the 600 millimeter board, and you can kind of make a decision based off of that if you want the slightly larger pattern or if you're fine with just the regular game board that comes with it. The next add-on for only $5 is a Coin of the Realm, and it looks cool. I think it's going to be very much worth it. Another add-on that just opened through stretch goals is a set of 4 gold foil art prints. These things look awesome. I love the artwork of this game. An additional stretch goal coming up that has not been met yet is that 2 additional ones are added on at no extra cost. You'll also notice there's no additional shipping for these. I think it's worth it. Do they add anything to gameplay? No. Are they great for decorating the environment? Yes. Lastly, well, for now at least, until they release more stretch goals, they are going to do something that was very popular for one of their previous games, Fireball Island, and release sleeves for the cards. I imagine these sleeves will bear some logo for the game, as well as offering protection for the cards from getting damaged over time. From what I see now, they're going to add an additional $20 if you elect to purchase those. Hey, I gotta tell you, probably a good idea to spend the money to protect your investment. One final thing to note, and I encourage all of you to go look at this yourself, is a major component of the game appears to be that you'll need to have an app on your smartphone to accompany it. There's no extra charge for that anyone can see by any means. There is some concern in the comments section about how long an app would be supported for. What if after 2 or 3 years technology changes, or the company, for some reason, whatever it is not able to continue supporting that app? They've answered those questions. If you go through the comments, I have a lot of faith in Restoration Games. They have already sent the code to escrow with a third party, where for some reason, if they were unable to continue to go ahead and support the app, the deal they have is that the code would be opened up. And as you well know, there are so many geniuses out there that love to take code on apps like that and change them and begin to support and update, and who knows, maybe even make improvements themselves. So I would not let that be worrisome to you as far as whether or not you pledge to this Kickstarter to get this game. I'm not the slightest bit concerned about it. I want to encourage all of you to go over to the website, the Kickstarter location. I'm posting that right now on the screen. I'm also going to include a link in the description below. I want you to go and look at things yourself. I really wanted to give you a taste of what they had. There's a lot of cool content on their website right now for you to look at. I am really, again, I can't say enough. I think if you're going to get this game, the time to pledge is now. So I want to say thank you to everyone for watching. I know it's different than the usual content that I post on my Safehouse Horror channel, but nevertheless, I've always said I'll support a great Kickstarter. I mean, the Dark Tower, Falling Skulls, again, I'm a big fan of that concept. So a little bit horror themed. What do you think after you take a look at it? Are you going to pledge? Are you not going to pledge? Why? Again, post comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Personally, I've already pledged. I'm all in on this. I'm a sucker for a great game. Check out my other content. Subscribe. I'd love to have your views. Thank you for watching.
And I was victorious.